Welcome to Nicole Loving Earth podcast, and I have with me my favorite, my beautiful guest Natasha again, and we're going to continue from our last conversation, and also bring in some new topics as well. So, welcome everybody to the podcast, and welcome Natasha. Hello, love.
Hey,
Hmm.
excited to be back.
Yeah, me too. And I'm excited for what's happened like in the past few weeks with the last time that we spoke. I know that we've both gone through some big changes in our lives, you
Right?
especially as well, right? And with all of the energetics on at the moment too, the full moon, the portal, the new moon that we've just had, the changes in axis for a few of the planets as well. It's like, whoa, when are
It's
we
all
slowing
picking up.
down?
It's picking up, baby. No, it's good. It's good. It's all about transition, isn't it? At the end of the day, we have to keep on transforming and evolving, and that's the most important task that we all have.
Mm, yeah, I agree. And it's been even oh, my voice already.
Like your throat chakras out.
It just literally my
Come
whole
on,
throat
open
chakra
your mind. Come on, just speak. Tell me what it is. Come on, hear it.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so for those that aren't watching the YouTube, like literally my whole throat just closed and about to speak what's happened for me this week. So that's a body response. They're trying to keep me safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe.
You are totally safe. There is nothing wrong. It's
Yeah,
just fear.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this week, I've had some big downloads or information come through in regards to the work that I do, but also in regards to opening up new concepts or ideas for me, or within love or within the concept of working through relationships. And it seems like a lot of the information that's coming through, and you were getting this too, Natasha, you're pulling cards, is all about partnership or relationship. And this week it was,
Embrace.
yeah, yeah, and what it looks like, and how does it feel in my body, and how does it feel safe, and like how do we
How's
recognize?
the throat?
Sorry, go Natasha. Sorry.
How's the throat now?
Uh she's kind of like little Joan of Arcing me, trying to stop me from talking. I'm getting this little miniature like Joan of Arc, like just trying to like close my throat off with swords and um
Just let it out, let it
let it
flow.
out. Yeah, so
Let it go.
so let's like if we step into that, um the first thing that comes through is like with love, with pure love, with love, there is no confusion, there is no question, right? So if you're feeling like a relationship, a situationship, the person that you're interested in, if you're feeling like it's cloudy, like the sand's been mixed up from the ocean floor, like there's confusion, there's questions, you're questioning what you've said, what they've said, how they make you feel, how you're making them feel. If all of these questions are floating around in your head, it's not love. Full stop.
No, it's not. And it's a big no.
Stop. And that may be a really tough thing for a lot of people to hear. Um, it's not
If
love.
you've got a question,
Yeah, when it's
yeah,
love,
if you've got
there's
a
no question. When it's love, there you know exactly how each other feel. You don't want to not say it. You want to say
look at
how
the
you're
end of the
feeling.
yeah, you do. And the thing is, what I've learned over the last few weeks, life is so short.
Mm,
We have such small amount of time here. And with my father's passing just like a few weeks ago, as he was walking down the stairs just before he passed, And he was like, and I looked at him before he actually was walking down the stairs, and he was just, he was, he was on his last few days, and he
Mm-hmm.
still managed to get up. He was still, feeling strong enough that he was going to show everybody that he was going to walk down the stairs.
Mm.
And as he done that, and I just thought, God, like he all of a sudden he flashed back when I was younger, and like seeing his face when he was younger, and how he used to act with me, and like all those running around and everything else, and all for that moment in time that just flashed through my mind, and I was like, and now my father is in front of me and he can't make the stairs down.
Mm.
That moment I was like, life is so short. It didn't seem that long ago that he was, we were having an argument, or we were running around, or we were, like he was playing with the kids in the garden, like it was just, and his life went so quickly. And for me, that moment, so when he was like literally, he was just about to walk down the stairs, and he turned around and he went, Natasha, he said, embrace life. He said, life's so short. And I was like, oh my God, I was just thinking that as like you were walking
Mm.
down the stairs. And
Yeah.
he was like, I never thought I'd be in this position. And it's just such,
Or how quickly he became in
and
that
how,
position,
yeah,
that's the
yes,
thing too. I don't think we think, oh, it's always going to happen so far, so much further down the track.
yeah, yeah. And you think you've got time. You
Yeah.
don't have time. You don't have time. So
You don't
if you want
have
to
time.
take that trip, go on that trip.
If you want to
You
tell
want to eat
someone
that
you
cake.
love them,
Yes,
tell them you love
exactly.
them.
Yeah, tell people you love them.
Yeah,
Like connect with people. Say, hey, I miss you.
I miss
Like
you.
reach out, because it's so important. Because to have that in your life and that regret,
Yeah,
it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It only causes illness or disrepair within your body, or you don't feel harmonious within yourself.
no,
Just speak your mind. Be open, honest with your communication. Be loving. An open heart gives everything. You can accomplish anything in life with an open heart. But with a closed heart, and when you start thinking from your mind, as soon as you start thinking in your mind, you're going into fear mode. We have to be through an open heart constantly, even no matter what situation it is. We have to come with love. And
yeah,
even if that person has hurt you, or they've done you wrong, or you feel bitterness against them,
yeah,
you have to look at, why do you feel bitter? What was the reason? But also, what was the reason going on behind that bitterness for you? What did that bring up? What was the bitterness about? Like really looking at yourself as well, because it is a mirror image at the end of the day. So if you're feeling resentful, then maybe the other person's feeling resentful as well. Like you've really got to look at the dynamics, and
yeah.
what is the other going through at the same time. So just
Oh,
being that understanding,
I do.
compassion.
I think what you said, yeah, is absolutely spot on. Like so much so, and even like if we're talking about those that balance or that divine energy, like the balance of that for me between the feminine and the masculine is like love being feminine and truth being masculine, right? And so if you're speaking your truth with love, if you're speaking, your love with truth, this is that like divine balance between the two. And it's like when you have fear or you're scared to speak your truth, if you are surrounding it with love and if you are realizing that you are love and you are leaning into love, there is no fear, right?
you know, I was a great one to turn around and just shut down, just
Yeah,
shut, not even acknowledge my feelings, like just sweep it under the carpet. No, that's not something that I'm going to address. I'm just going to leave it. And then what happens is when you leave it, it just comes back again, and it keeps on coming back and back and back, and it's like a, so you need to address it. And how that makes you feel, you just got to say, you know hang on a minute, I'm just going to process this right now. And maybe you might sound a little bit, I'm processing, but you need that time out to
Yeah.
process.
Yeah.
You
I literally I said it last night, and even hearing myself saying it, I was like, oh, that sounds a bit, like me saying in the middle of the conversation, oh, hang on, I just need to process that. It sounded a bit like robotic for me to do it, right? I'm just like saying, maybe you're gonna feel a bit weird saying I need to process this.
I know, I know, but
Still processing, but honestly, me saying that allowed the other person to know
it's
that
acknowledging that you've got,
my
you're actually,
non-poker face moving through different reactions and different expressions is not aimed at him or the conversation. It's literally me. How do I feel about that? I'm safe to receive this information. So, yeah.
but the me just saying, I wouldn't have said I'm processing this right
No, no,
now.
definitely not. I would have
I
been
would have said, right,
and
yeah,
then
I'll
backpedaling, and you're like,
pause
no,
there.
backpedal. Must compute, must compute.
I would have been running out the door and gone, right, I've got to go now. And I haven't acknowledged anything, and I'm just like, what?
Oh, my
Nothing.
phone's ringing. Hang on, I have to go.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. There's a problem with the kids right now. I'm going to have to leave you right now. So self-denial.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I'm having extreme deja vu right now, right this second, right on this recording. Is this something we talked about our last conversation?
probably, probably. So,
Or is it
like,
deja vu?
I'll say to you, hold on a minute. Let me just think. um, but it is really important. And then being open and honest, and saying exactly how you feel about the situation. Now that's the next step as well, when
Yeah,
we actually start communicating and telling the other person how we feel, and if they're going to acknowledge those feelings, that's the key.
yeah,
And not, it's all about them. So
yeah,
where they start projecting it and making it, oh, but you've done this, but you've done that, and it's like, no, hang on a minute. This is how I'm feeling.
yeah.
I'm acknowledging how I feel.
Mhm.
This isn't about how I'm trying to make you feel. It's how I'm feeling. So
Yeah.
I'm
And
addressing.
and also too, like taking away any blame of like, no, I'm not saying you made me feel this way. No,
No, it
no.
will be a certain
That's I
situation.
I am responsible for my emotions and my feelings. So it's like I'm feeling this way isn't me saying I'm blaming you. Like, I think that's a really key point there because I feel like maybe patterning or past experience, when somebody's like, I feel like this, we're instantly blaming them for making us feel that way. Though when you're taking ownership of your feelings, it's doing that with no judgment or blame to the other person. It's like just acknowledging that what happened or what was said, you have created that feeling and emotion within you to respond or react to that situation. So that's like ownership.
That's it.
Right?
And it is to have that open communication, and just as long as you've expressed how you feel, because sometimes the other person is thinking it's something else and it's not, when
Yeah.
you're not
Or
honest and
or that you're blaming them.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I love you.
It's all about them. It's all about them.
Yeah,
Not what you're
it's not
about.
you, it's me. No, actually it is you.
Like, it's not, at the end of the day, it's a trigger, isn't it? It's a
Yeah.
trigger. So what they've said or what they've done or whatever else, you've got to that point, and it's raised a trigger within you. So then you have to address the trigger
Yeah.
and heal.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the trigger usually comes down to something that's happened maybe in your teens, or your, like there'll be a trigger or something maybe in the younger years, or your inner child, something that's happened somewhere along the line, or maybe it's something to do with a previous relationship or something, and it triggers you and
Mm,
it makes you vulnerable again.
mm,
So acknowledging that vulnerability and taking ownership for it, and just saying, hang on a minute, this isn't because of you, but because of what you said, it's made a reaction within myself. So
yeah.
um, I need to
Yeah.
address that, and that I'm processing right now.
Yeah, and that I think as well, like stepping into a new relationship or stepping into meeting someone new or spending time with someone, it's like incredible how you can rewrite history.
Yeah.
You can, like truly, because you can moment to moment be testing the healing that you've put yourself through. You can be moment to moment, like taking tentative steps, rather than diving headfirst in. From moment to moment, you can be like, okay, in the past, I've always jumped into relationships too quick or too fast, or just fast, let's say. And so this time I can really be like, no, like I want to just spend time getting to know someone. I want to spend time at different times of the day. So maybe in the morning, maybe in the afternoon, maybe in the evening, maybe for lunch. Like I don't want to just be knowing you all of an evening, or I want to know the morning you. I want to know the lunchtime you. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like when you're meeting someone new, it can be like, well, all right, I want to play with being free. So if being free to me is me saying really calmly with love, like everything that comes up for me, then I'm going to try it out.
Yeah.
And the
and
right
and
person's going to stick around.
yeah,
Yeah.
because they're on the page of listening to you and wanting to support you, not
Yeah.
running for the world.
Yeah. And so that's the difference within me. Is like I'm wanting to support me now. The mirror, the mirror, the mirror. Let's talk about the mirror, Natasha.
They're a reflection. You have to love yourself.
Mm.
And when you're not loving yourself, you're going to get a mirror image of someone else who isn't going to love you back. So when you start loving yourself, you're going to start finding people who love you too.
Mm. With the same level or the same feeling or the same intensity. Yeah, it's um interesting too because that was the other thing because a lot of the information over the past couple of weeks has been all about divine partnership, but also to a lot of shedding, like shedding past versions of you or shedding like relationships that don't serve you anymore. It's been all of this shedding and then coming into this divine partnership. And I like pulling apart topics or really kind of going deep with it. And so I was going into the divine partnership within, how is that reflected outside of us, like in exactly what Natasha was just saying in regards to the mirror too. And I started off with this concept, um, just with the phrase like, I get it. I get it. I finally fucking
Oh,
get it. I get it. That's how it started. That's how this writing started, was like, I just get it. And it started off being in regards to my own experience. So, like, as a woman, as feminine aspects, as me being in my feminine energy, and what I was noticing with a traditional, like, male um, or masculine energy. Okay. But then I expanded it to just be any person who feels safe. So it was like when I was having that thought of like, okay, now I get it. I get it. I feel safe. I feel protected. I feel protected by masculine energy. I feel like there is nothing that they're wanting to change or fix within me. And it is just allowing this big, I kind of saw it like a big circus tent. Right? And I like the analogy of a circus tent as protection because there's no fixed sides. So you don't feeling
Yeah.
trapped, okay? But you're still protected. It's still big. There's room to play. It's very playful energy as well. It was like, still room to sing and dance and do all of the things and be creative. But at the same time, I just felt like I had a structure or form around me, energetically speaking. And so then what it was like I realized that I felt safe. I had all of these like thoughts and these like kind of phrases come to me like one after the other. It just started this like waterfall effect. And it was like if I feel safe in my full sexual energy, then I feel like I can be in my full sexual power not in regards to the actual act of sex, but in regards to healing, in regards to creation, in regards to intuition, in regards to that full and feminine force, my full sexual energy. I could be safely in my full sexual energy without fear of objectification, without fear of being shut down, without fear of that being weaponized against me at a later date, without fear of that being seen as an invitation for unwanted, unasked for attention or physicality or, even um someone coming onto you or cracking onto you. It just felt like I could be in my full energy, my full sexual energy, and it be witnessed and it be loved and it be seen with just for the glory of it being so, right?
Mm.
Hmm. A little, hmm.
I agree.
Oh, I see Natasha. You were just like, you were seeing it all, right?
Yeah, I was in
You
the
know.
moment. And "Yep, that's it."
Yeah. So I had to bring Natasha back to consciousness then.
I should just go off.
Yeah.
She's like, oh.
Yeah. So that, right, that kind of imagery for me just was like, wow, okay. So that means that I can, like what I said before, I can start practicing saying what's coming to my mind. I can have no fear about curating how I speak or toning something down or not being in full flight, right?
You've got to be, you've got to be you. You've got to be
Yeah.
your own honest self, and
Mhm.
that's what whole thing is, like, and that's what I come back to the whole time from my father's passing. It's really taught me one, life short,
Mhm.
two, that there is life after death. He's been with me the whole time, he's been talking to me. Some people don't agree with the spirit rising. I confirm that I am in full flow in conversation with him constantly, which is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Like I feel like I haven't lost him. He's still around. He's just not in a physical form. But having that acknowledgement that, it is so our stress and everything we put ourselves through, it's just
Yeah.
not worth it.
No,
It's
definitely
just not
not.
worth it. Just live, just go with the flow, just enjoy life. It's so
Yeah.
short, it's such a short time, it's amazing life. um and to create this beautiful, film for yourself that you can remember and come back and just go, that was a great lifetime.
Mhm.
What a great lifetime. Put
Yeah.
that lifetime Akashic records, leave it up there, and just come back and do all
Yeah, this one
lifetime.
I can say this one I know there's a few souls journeys that are like, oh, thank you, this version.
Yeah, it's like, hang on a
I
minute,
said,
my
yeah,
boss
high
over there.
five. All right, you've done more than enough for.
Like, healing or
Yeah, in
this
regards to
lifetime.
healing, that's what I'm
Got it
talking
on.
about.
So important, so important. Like I can't,
Yeah, my
acknowledge
soul
it.
has literally got the clipboard going, yes, thank you, and yes, thank you. All right, that one's gone, that's gone, that's gone. Thank you, and thank you. And next page, okay, and thank
Yeah,
you.
it was like, right, okay, tick, right, I've done that one, tick, I've done that one. Oh no, you weren't meant to come back. Okay, let me address that issue again. Okay, thanks, universe. But yeah, no, addressing everything and just like, so when it comes to the point where you do pass over,
Yeah,
you can just, okay, amazing, thank you.
yeah,
Next lifetime, please.
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like
But not
let's go
even.
for it.
So, okay, so
Ground running.
exactly what you're saying there, right? You're thinking, okay, this life is so short, this life is so short. So this is like where I'm coming to with this piece, right? It's I love it because we both had these different experiences and we're coming to the same, like literally the same point with different, right? So you think about when we say healing's not linear, you can both come to the same healing, the same realization, very different pathways,
Yeah,
right?
totally. And I,
See.
one of our conversations, after my father passed, and I said to you, because we had this planned beforehand, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I said, I'm just not in the right energy right now. Like I just need some time off just to process my feelings,
Yeah.
and how I'm feeling. And just some time out just for me. But I haven't had any time out.
No.
I've had like my kids' birthdays. I've had,
Yeah,
my mom.
you had like a real busy schedule. Yeah, for me it was
But
like this is not important. Like the podcast isn't important. It was more like just take however long you need. It's not
it's like, right, okay, right, I'm ready now. Come
yeah.
on, let's go.
I'm like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, let's go.
I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna get anywhere. I've just said to everybody, like, come on, life's so short. What are you
Exactly.
doing? There's no
Okay,
time.
so life's so short, right? So think about this, like I'm talking about this circus tent, and you know
Yeah,
the masculine creating this for the feminine to be in flow. But then it kind of like opened up, right? Where of course it can be if we are allowed to feel, and it doesn't matter what form we are in, what physical form we're in, whether we're masculine or feminine or however we see or call ourselves, it's like, okay, if another being, another person, a relationship that we have is allowing, if we have trust and they're allowing me to feel safe, then the same is going to happen. It doesn't have to be romantic, right? Business partnership, platonic friendship, anything, right? And then the next thing that opened up was like, okay, so this was, I was just saying that, or the first accent or aspect point was about seeing my sexual energy, right, and what that encompassed. But then it could be like what we were saying, where, at the start, my throat started closing up. Okay. So if I am then free to be in my complete sexual being, then I'm free to be in full flight as my spiritual being. I am free to be full flight in my emotional being. I am free to be full flight in all parts of me. Okay, not just my sexual energy, in all parts of my energy. And then I can really start to speak my truth from love, right? And so all of it starts to open up. I start speaking. See, this is the thing we talk about. Like once we start looking at one area of our life, it just flows symbiotically onto everything. There's no forcing, oh, now I have to look at this version, this version. No, 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 no. It just keeps opening up. It just keeps opening and washing away and moving shit out the way. And so literally
gotta
like
keep going.
when you're coming to that realization of life is so short, it's like I will not allow fear to allow me to not experience part of being alive. I will not
Yeah,
allow
I
an insecurity I will not allow an insecurity to have the power to allow me to change plans.
I think when you start this journey,
Mm.
you are insecure, you are fearful, you are, and then all of a sudden you start to relax,
Yeah.
like you just like, what's the
Mhm.
worst thing can happen?
Yeah.
What is the worst thing
Yeah. Is
Really
anyone
not.
gonna die?
It's your own fear. Well,
Yeah.
if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna come back again anyway, so I might as well.
Normally, if I
I'm
get
not really
scared to say
happy.
something, normally if I get scared to say something or ask someone a question, like if I hesitate and I have fear come up, I will literally in my voice now train myself to say, "Will anybody die if I say this?" And if the answer is no, then I say
Yeah, it's just
it.
like life. We do come in. Like the moment we are born,
Yeah.
we are going to die.
Yeah, it's the
You know,
one thing we all have in common. It's the life experience each of us will share, being born and
yeah.
dying. So why do we
And let
have
me tell
fear
you,
of it?
and maybe this lifetime you've had a really hardship, but these have been all tests. So even more so, do your healing, get it done. Get that emotional
Mhm.
troubles, removed. If you've got the most amazing life, then you must have done something really good in your previous life. So well done you. So keep on going and just enjoy life. But for
Don't
those who
hurt
are struggling,
anyone. Yeah,
yeah,
don't hurt anyone.
yeah, don't hurt anyone. Like karma is real. Karma will come round at one point, and if you're coming with love and you're coming with an open heart constantly, it can only be good. It can only be
Yeah. And if you want to practice your bravery or your courage, you can reach out to Natasha and I.
good. Right.
Zero fear of rejection.
Be
Oh,
brave.
except for some things. But then, so if you're feeling free in all of these other parts of your life, of course, then anything that feels restricting, anything that feels controlling, anything that doesn't feel good, you're going to have a really easy time saying no to. You know?
I think a lot of people who come to me now, I feel there's so many women who do actually come in sessions that can't say no.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing the sessions with them, and I was like, but why can't you say no?
Hmm.
What is it
It's a
about,
huge one.
you know, why can't you say no? And they'd be like, yes, because I feel like I
Yeah.
just can't
I say no,
or
maybe they won't come back or blah, blah, blah,
like
blah, blah, blah.
me. And I'm like, stop, stop. How does that make you feel? So, like, addressing the no, is a big thing. We
It's
can't just say
huge. It's huge. I think it's one of the things that is completely ingrained, um, right? And I'm not just
no if
saying
you're
just women. I'm saying definitely there's men or others who feel have felt like they've struggled with saying no in particular circumstances or situations, and feeling like you are not able to say no can come from, that desire or being told that to be a good girl, right? To be a good girl, to be a good
Mhm.
boy, be a good
Yeah.
girl, and hug so and so. Be a good girl and do this. Be a good girl and say this, you know,
Yeah,
and
so you're wired.
mhm,
So
that you
you're
are
wired
not
in
safe to say
you
no.
have to think. You
Or
have
there
to think
is
as
no
well.
is not an option. It's not even about safety. It's just like there is no option for you to say no.
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, if you're saying, you know, no over a certain amount of time, you just got to go how you feel. But at the end of the day, you got to be open and honest with yourself.
And there is this part of that too, where it's like when we're practicing or when we're learning how to say no, it can be a really shaky no to start with. And so if you
Yeah.
hear someone in your life give you a really shaky no, you need to stop and you need to look at them and you need to listen. Because if it's a firm no, that person's practiced and they know. They know how to say no. If it's a really shaky no, that is almost even more powerful than the firm no. because you don't even know what it's
Yeah.
taking for that person to be able to say no. So if you hear
Yeah.
no, if you hear no, you take that on board as that's what that person means. If you hear no repeatedly, you take on board that that's what that person means. And it's,
Yeah.
you know, anything beyond that is forcing yourself or forcing someone to do something they truly do not want to do in their heart. And they may not have the courage to keep saying no.
Yeah. And in the end, they'll just say yes to something and they don't mean it.
Just have it be over.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, it is really important, and it's
It's
really
like
important.
hear the first no. Listen to the
Yeah.
first no. Please.
Yeah. 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 It's yeah.
I didn't know we were going to go there. Yeah, so why do we say no? People pleasing. We are scared that somebody won't like us or love us if we say no. Fear of rejection, fear of abandonment if we say no. You know that we're scared they're going to
So we
reject.
say yes to everything.
Yeah, so we say yes
So
to
we
everything.
say yes to everything and think that yes is going to be the right answer, but it's not.
No.
Because if you have to make them happy,
Mhm.
then you're not happy yourself. So that means you're not living your true purpose.
Mhm.
And if you're not living your true purpose, it's only going to make you miserable in the end
Yeah, it's going to
because
hurt your
they're
heart,
going to find
hurt your soul.
it's going to keep on asking you to do these things, and in the end, you're going to go, no.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
And so for those that like find themselves in a situation and maybe you don't even know, like, is this a yes or a no for me? Right? So you have to know what in your body, what does your body feel like, or how does your body give you a yes? Like, what is a fuck yes in your body? What's a fuck yes in your
Yeah.
body, Natasha? How does your body respond? Body, show me a
Well,
fuck yes. And it's like,
I'm just like, yes, like
yeah,
I get all
right?
over it.
Yes, tingle, 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 tingles. Mine,
I'm
it's like an explosion in my heart. Like a fuck yes. What's a
I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, yeah, there is no no. There's no
no room?
thought of no that
Yeah.
that it's like, yes, I want to be there. Yes, I want to do this, and that's it. Now, if I have to think about it,
Hmm.
it's already a no.
Yeah. Okay. So
So
great.
unless
So what does
yes,
a fuck no feel like in your body then?
it's like it makes you feel dead.
Like
Like I
shut down. Yeah.
not happening.
Yeah.
And even if I want it to, I'm like, nope, it's not happening. Nope.
That's a no from me. Okay. And
Yeah.
so that's the thing. It's like we can. Oh, and why do I say apologies? Oh, apologies for swearing, viewers and listeners.
No, that's
But why do we say like a fuck yes and a fuck no? Because sometimes a yes and a no in your body is really quiet until you start talking more and more to your body. So asking what a fuck yes is, your body's going to respond. Okay. And so that means like in any situation, whether it's work or personal or out and about or, am I going to catch the next wave? Is this like a fuck yes for me or a fuck no? You're learning your intuition and your body. You're starting to trust your body more. You're starting to love your body because you're hearing that your body is responding to you. It's like answering your questions. This is a new and exciting toy that you've just figured out you've got walking around with you all the time. you
well,
know,
the connection to our higher self is what we need to all be in tune with anyway.
yeah,
Because if we're connected to our higher self, our higher self knows exactly what we're doing and knows exactly the answers and the questions and everything that we need to do. Like ask your higher self, is it a yes or is it a no? Exactly what you said. It's
yeah,
really important.
yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah.
And in that respect, it's like, then we start saying, okay, now I know what a yes and a no feels like in my body. So I can be asking about this, like when I'm out and about, what I'm ordering for lunch. Am I buying this dress? Is this person the right person to work with? do you know, it's like all of that, you can test it. And then it's like, okay, I, whenever somebody's asking me something and I'm not sure, I just have like a mantra running through my head. I am safe to say yes. I'm safe to say no. I'm safe to say, let me think about it. Right? It's kind of like all of the things that maybe we didn't have a chance to say growing up, or all the things we didn't feel safe to say growing up. It's kind of like I'm retraining myself like a kid, like a puppy, retraining myself. I'm safe to say yes, I'm safe to say no, I'm safe to say I can think about this.
And that's really important. That's really important. And it's acknowledging, you know, and also when we go back on the healing charts and everything else, when we're doing like healing, you know, energetic healing, as we both do, and for clients, actually understanding where their journey was and where their healing needs to take place at what age as well. So although that we have healing several times during our lives, you know, that come up as issues, just addressing those those quicker, you know, and as soon as we're aware of what triggers us, and you know, going through, you know, like maybe it's aggressive behavior or something, and that will trigger you immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or someone being, you know, argumentative, and all of a sudden you become very irate very quickly because
Yeah.
it's a trigger. There's a trigger there. So it's actually being aware of these issues that's going on, and then knowing how to handle yourself in those issues when them issues arise. You know, like how are you going to deal with that? How are you going to deal with that? And taking that pause and that time out before addressing anything is the most important thing that we can all do.
Yeah. Yeah. The pause. The pause, the pause, the pause. Like
The pause, the processing. Very
the pause. Like this is what I say. Like if you are not sure, and I touched on this like in the divine feminine and masculine episode, it's like if you're not sure if you're acting from or reacting from your wounded masculine or your wounded feminine or your divine masculine or your divine feminine, the quickest way to get to the divine is pause. Come to stillness, come to silence. With so many different things, this
go
will
and
bring you
ground.
into alignment with divine. Come to the pause.
Go
Pause.
and go straight outside, take your shoes and socks off and go on that grass and ground.
Put your
And
face
then you're,
to
yeah, yeah.
dip
Literally
some
just
cold
take it
water
all.
on your face.
Yeah. Change
The
your
pause.
surrounding. If you
The
need to dance,
pause.
dance.
Yeah,
If
and
you
then
need to
you're
put a house,
asking.
do that.
And then you're asking, what would love do? What would love say? How would love respond? How would love handle
Yeah.
this? You know? So that's going to be the easiest way to get you into your divine masculine or feminine. Yeah, most
And
definitely.
we come back to the same thing again, an open heart.
Open heart.
Achieve an
Okay.
open heart.
So
Nice, brilliant color. Open
like
heart, please.
this is like the OPP because we've got the open heart, the processing, and the pause. So this is the OPP episode.
I like that. I love that. So do you want us to talk about a little bit about the divine feminine and the masculine, just in case some of them, you know,
Yeah,
like
yeah. So
don't
what's your take on it then, Natasha?
the
For
divine feminine for me is all about the earth, isn't it? It's all about, you know, the loving, the nurturing, you know, coming from a very kind state of place, you know. And then you've got your masculine energy, and you know, masculine is reliable, isn't it? It's reliable, it's intuitive, it's nurturing, you know. So we have the spirit of the masculine, and from the like the feminine, we have the earth energy. So making sure that yin and yang is
yeah.
beautifully surrounding, and we all have the masculine and the female energy within us.
Mhm.
So making sure that we are completely whole all the time, Now, when we have negative thoughts and negative patterns that carry on, then we're coming from the wounded side. So it's addressing the wounded side. So we have to make sure that we're always completely whole and complete. And then when we're coming from a wounded is never, jealousy, just arguments, aggressiveness. It's they're not coming from love. It's not coming from love, and then it's not coming from spirit. So it's like either side. You just got to make sure that you're completely whole constantly.
Hmm.
What about for you? What do
I'm
you think?
wishing I didn't send that message earlier. I'm like getting big raps across the knuckles here.
Take them off. Take them off. Come with love.
We are all human. We are
Oh, we are.
we are all human, and it's not to say it's like a practice. So like that's what I love about this. It is a practice. It is a practice, and there's going to be times where you feel like you've stumbled or you fail or there's something that you're not proud of. Just own it. Just be accountable.
Yeah.
Own it. Make amends. Full stop. You know, I think with all of this kind of work that we speak of and what we talk about and everything like that, it's like don't be a coward about it. Just own your truth. If you messed up, own that you messed up. Stand in your mess. I made this. I'm sorry. I love you.
I've messed up quite a few times.
This is my mess.
And I and
This is
I own
my mess
up to
and I'm
it.
owning it. Okay? When you go into like that avoidance or silent treatment or whatever, you're allowing
Well, you
sufferance.
shut down.
Yeah, you're allowing sufferance for yourself and for the other person. It's like you're encouraging sufferance. No, if you're in a bad place, if you need time, you speak your truth. I'm in a bad place right now. I just need some time. I don't know, it might be a couple of days, it may be a week. This does not change what I think of you as a person. I'm taking this time for me. That to me is so crazy clear, right? There's no room there for confusion, right? And rather than radio silence for like a week or whatever, and you're just like, well, what the fuck happened? What did I do? What was I not? Where was I not enough? Was I too much? Right? There's all this confusion and questions created. This is not love. For everything that we've spoken about already, communication, I think, clear,
It's
honest,
clear.
loving communication is going to mend every bridge, is going to
Yes.
heal every wound, is going to open everyone up for expansion. The minute you shut down your communication, like at the start when my throat closed up, the minute you stop that communication between friends, between family, between loved ones, between partners, the minute that communication stops, that's a form of trust being broken. That's trust being broken because you don't trust that person with your truth or you don't love yourself enough to share your truth. It's like not about protection here. This is about you're breaking trust, you know?
And when you do remember, like when you do have that argument, or you do have, you know the coming back and owning that, and actually saying, hang on a minute, I know I was wrong, but this is the angle I was coming from, this is how it made me feel, this is, and actually being honest and open and taking accountability for your actions, and just saying, look, this is how it made me feel, can you understand that? And then the other person coming from the angle of expressing how it made them feel as well. So, and this, I'm not just talking about romantic relationships here, I'm talking about all kinds of relationships, either work colleagues or, friends, like just having that open communication and dialogue with just everyone is so important. And you know what, it's so healing too. You'll find yourself in so much of a better vibration when you're being honest and open and expressing how you feel, because you're not hiding anything, you're not running from anything, you're not, you're just saying how it is. It's being completely honest and open, and there is pure health and wellness within that.
Oh yeah. Oh, everything changes, right?
Yeah.
Everything changes like the minute that you're able to say that no or that yes. Saying a no to
Yeah.
someone is a yes to you.
And it makes you feel so much better afterwards. You'll go to bed afterwards being like, um I
Sleeping
feel
12
great.
hours.
Yeah, you'll be sleeping amazing because you're being honest and open. And if you're not, and you're still fearing that you've been honest and open and how that person is feeling, and then you start that cycle again, you're not healing. You're going around in a Ferris wheel again.
Yeah. We can't ever take someone off their roller coaster. You know, we can choose to step off our roller coaster. We can choose to step off it and be super gentle with ourselves and decide this is what I want my life to look like and this is what I want my love to feel like and this is who I choose to be in every moment moving forward, right? And I choose to have no
Yeah.
fear. I choose to have no drama. I choose to have no insecurities pop up. And if so, if
But
any
now that person is going to come into your life and they're going to be honest and open with you, because you're going to attract the people around you that are going to do the mirror thing. So
Mhm.
you're not going to entertain anyone anymore in your life that can't be honest and open with you, and give you back that reflection. So
Yeah,
when you're having this in your relationship, and you're going through this, I don't mean just, again, relationships, I mean work colleagues and everybody, every type of relationship in your life. When you're coming from, I'm honest, I'm open, I'm expressing myself, I'm being true, you'll notice the people who don't want to be around, they just leave.
yeah,
you know they just won't entertain it anymore, like, so
yeah.
it's
And
just.
it's for me, it's like anyone who I don't have insecurities about myself or who I am or what I do or my body or my
I
mind.
did.
I did.
I did.
I absolutely did. And I felt like if I was with someone and I was feeling that way, I was feeling insecure, I knew it was about me. And the minute I started clearing it for myself, rather than thinking,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not good enough to be with that person, I was thinking it was the person making me feel insecure. No, it was me making me feel insecure. The minute I started working on my insecurities and where they came from and what was involved and clearing them and healing them, the level of people that started coming into my life saw me, right? And loved me for exactly who I am now. Because, shock, I love exactly who I am now, right? So I look at and if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see how big Natasha's smile is right now. But if you're listening, just know that like Natasha's smile and mine too is huge right now. And that's the thing. So if you're worried about the people that you're attracting into your life, see it as a direct reflection into how much love you love yourself. The more you love yourself, that's going to be reflected. The more you love yourself for exactly who you are and how you are in every moment, that's like when you're going to have that person come in who's just like, you're incredible. You're amazing. Oh my God, am I dreaming?
I don't know if you'll get that, but you might do. You might do. But it's good. It's
It's
good, and it's good to acknowledge it. and it is all about the mirror. It is all about the mirror image. So when you're happy with your mirror image and you're happy with yourself and you're giving your self love, your own self-worth, you're taking ownership of your own self, like you're dealing with everything yourself, then you can look back and go, okay, I've got this. So you're not needy on anyone else. You're doing your own thing on your own time. And then people who match your energy and your vibration will just come on and into your life. I'm a great believer in people come in and out of your life for reasons, and some don't stay in your life forever, but they come in at the right time to give you the right lessons, and that's really important to learn as well.
Yeah. And when the cycle's finished, to let go.
Acknowledging the cycle's finished and to let it go.
Yeah.
And no matter how hard that is to let it go,
That's part of
you
the
got.
sufferance, I think, there that we choose, like when we realize it's like the monkey with the hand in the gourd, right? You know that story where the monkey's putting his hand in to get the seeds out, and he gets a handful of seeds and he's so excited, but he can't take the rest out, and all he needs to do is let go to be able to come back out. Tips him.
And you know what? It's really funny you say that, because in sessions I'm always going, right, let it go. And I have two songs for clients, and they're always two different camps which they come from. It's either the Disney one, let it go, let
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
go, let it go. Or it's the people who come in and I go, you gotta let it go, like let it go. So it's like either let it go or it's you gotta let it go.
Gotta let
you know, it's two songs.
Yeah, it's that there. If you are a ninja at letting go, you will have no suffering. Full stop.
Yeah.
No suffering. Sufferance is caused by when we hang on to things way too long.
Yeah, and then you become ill as well, and it causes illness within your body because you're holding on to something, and because you're holding on so much, you're making yourself ill.
Yeah.
And you're holding on to be the best, or you're holding on to that, and all what happens is that your body can't cope with it, and it goes into shutdown mode. So being aware of your body is so important, and that's another thing where say for instance people come and see you, you must have the same thing, and I always say to people, you've got to keep on doing this self-love.
Mhm.
You can't just
Yeah,
come
it's a
and
practice. Yeah.
have a healing session and think, okay, great, I'm all good now. It doesn't work. Like you're not calm to a healing session and it's like all of a sudden
Yeah.
I'm all singing and dancing. You've got homework. You've got to work on it. Like and when people come to me, all of a sudden I've given them homework and they're like, huh? I've got homework. I'm like, yep, I don't want to see you until you've done your homework. They're like,
That's
okay.
the two things that I say as well for me. Like if when people come to the energy work, the homework, right? One, it's only going to be as successful as how open you are, right? So how open, like Natasha, for sure, this is for you, for everyone. It's like when we do this kind of work, I love working with Natasha because like you can see how much we expand each other when we're together, and we've got the same hair, not the same style, the same kind. We had a big conversation about our hair before, but it's like when you're working with someone, and it doesn't matter if I'm doing an akashic reading or a healing or channeling or anything like that. It doesn't matter, but the success of it lies in how open the person you're reading can be, right? How open you are to this kind of work is absolutely how successful it is. The second thing is like what you said, it's only part of it. It's like it's it's the carry on or the cycle between working with an energy healer and the work you're doing on yourself. It's like the ball or the momentum or the movement to keep it going, without a practice of meditation or a practice of opening your chakras or a practice of checking in with your energy or checking in with your guides. Yeah, it's like a band-aid, you know. This is like working together. When you find someone that you trust and that you work with like this is a relationship that we form. Like I know Natasha, for you, for me, for others that we trust It's like you're building relationship. I have relationship with every single one of my clients. And that's because of when you are both so open, you cannot but come like family, like close friends, like, do you know what I mean, Natasha? It's just beautiful, sacred work. But
And the
it
thing is, I think
definitely,
for me, actually seeing that person, how they far they've come as well, it's
yeah.
just so beautiful.
Mm.
You
And
know,
when
like
it
when you
like
see it,
changes, like all of a
oh
sudden
my
things
God,
that have been bugging them for years or problems they've
they
had
come in, they come
gone.
in for your first session, and then 6 months later, they're just transformed. And you're like, you look at them and you go, oh my God, you just look so beautiful now. You don't, you got it. You're actually, and now you're gonna experience the best life,
Yeah.
the best kind of life, because you have done your healing, you have done your journey, and you are continually doing it. And it is a continual thing, both us, like both, we are completely, always healing as well, like there's no stop, stop. There's always triggers coming up, but both myself and Nicole, we are constantly aware of that, and we're like, oh, hang on a minute, no, 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 and changing it again. And it is really important that we do that.
Mm. Yeah, it is. It's just, it's beautiful, sacred work. I agree. Like everything that we do. Mm. Very thankful for this life. Very thankful for
Yeah,
this.
me too. And to be truthful, even more so now, even more so now, I feel like I'm living my life's purpose.
Yeah.
And it did a while for them to keep on going knock knock, from that, how many years ago, of being outside in meditation, where they come through and they said, you're not doing your mission, you're not doing your work, you're
Yeah.
not, doing. And I was like, like I'm gone crazy, and but now, like looking at it, I'm just so grateful. I'm so grateful, and I'm so happy where I'm at now. And every day I wake up and I'm like, wow, this is great. This is really great. So
Yeah, I was the same. I was literally saying it yesterday to a student that I was like, don't get so caught up in your life's purpose because they are relentless when you're not on your life's purpose track.
oh my God, relentless. Honestly, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Nope,
I just
you're not
it's
doing
like
it.
write. You have to write. You have to write. You have to write. You have to write. And this is how the message comes through. You have to write. You have to write. You have to write. You have to write. You're like, oh my God. Okay. So, and the minute I start writing, it's
And then they let you go. And we sound mad, and then they let you go. And you're like, okay, can I carry on now? And they're
yeah,
like, yeah, you can.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now you're
Thanks
right.
for that.
Yeah. Is that? And I will literally, I'll write like, bang out like 6 paragraphs, tick, 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 and then it'll just be like stop. And I'll be like, okay, is that all? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, okay, great. And go back to what I was doing. And be like, okay. And then I come back and read it the next day or later in the day, and I'll be like, wow, this is like really good. But it's like
I've said this to
that.
you before. Like my best downloads are on an aeroplane. Like I'll be on an aeroplane mid-flow, and I'll be like, "Oh my God!" And I'll be like, or on a train, and I'm like, you
Forward
won't
momentum.
find me, because I've just been bashing out, typing away, typing away, typing away, and I'm just being like, download.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love what we do. I'm very
I love
grateful and
that.
thankful for this life. And just more to come, baby. Just more to come. Well, this has been a
I'm
great
so
conversation.
Yeah, it has, isn't it? We didn't know where it was going to go.
Yeah. So I'll put once again all of Natasha's details down the bottom if you're in the UK and you want to catch up with her in person or you want to connect with her online. She does online sessions as well. She's amazing, amazing, talented, multifaceted, beautiful love bomb of a
I love it. Ego is like huge right now. I am not in ego. I am in soul purpose. Um, what was I going to say? But we should talk about our retreat as well that we've
Yes.
got coming on board as well.
Yes.
So that is going to be really fun and
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. So we're planning a retreat. The dates we've got, we can put them into the details. But what we're looking to call it is returning to you. Hmm.
Love it.
I love
I love
it
it.
too. Returning to you. So
Bringing
this is
back
open to
the
everyone too. Masculine, feminine, couples, singles. Like, come and be loved on, no matter what your station or your situation. This is like for you to be loved on and for you to be led back to you. You know?
yeah, well,
Um,
it's so important this one because it's about freedom and self-expression, and
mhm.
how can you acknowledge that and coming alive, you know? And what else, Nicole?
Well, I also too feel like it's coming into your practice. So, what is your practice for you? So, each day we're going to be working with a different element. So, starting with earth, fire, air, water, spirit. Okay, working with all five elementals each day, but then we're also connecting that back to your body, where a combination of yoga and meditation and breath work and working with crystals and sound baths, but then also to working with your guides, your spirit team, working with the natural land that we're on. Yeah, lots of nature bathing. Clothing option.
What was feeling free.
Feeling free.
I was waiting. I was like, and feeling,
Free.
and you didn't come back. Feeling free,
Feeling free.
letting go of unwanted attachments.
Yeah.
Let them go.
Yes, so we're looking to do this retreat in Hawaii. We've got the dates organized for November.
November the
November.
8th.
November the 8th to the 13th. So yeah, save the date for Hawaii. I'm so excited.
Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Transformation is happening in a big way.
Information, getting amongst it. Yeah, waterfalls and sunshine and surfing. I'm
Dancing.
gonna try and get us into some surfing lessons too. So if you've ever wanted to surf with me, come to Hawaii. Mm,
And
so
other things.
yeah, another
Fire pit. Fire
fire
pit.
pit.
Let's bring out the dance. The dance, the dance, the dance.
Yeah, dancing, singing, playing musical instruments. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, a lot of healing, a lot of laughter, a lot of play. And expect a few inner childs to come out, most definitely.
And
So,
if you're not doing that, you know that you're not healing as well. So have, we all have our inner child issues that still come through. So
okay. Mm.
it's allowing
So beautiful. So we'll see you all in Hawaii. You can reach out if you're interested. And Natasha, my love, what another beautiful
that.
episode. I can't wait till the next one too. Mm.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Just
being here.
thank you for having me.
Mm. And
I will catch up with you later on in the week.
right after this recording.
Yeah, I'll catch up with you afterwards. Give me five.
All right. For everyone else, we'll see you next episode. And yeah, reach out if you've got questions or if you want to find out more about what we do. And we love you and thank you.